I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from our attorney panel what type of business they're doing, what it looks like. So Al, will start with you. Like, what percentage of your business would you say comes from estate planning each year versus estate administration?
You ready for the answer, Chad?
I'm ready.
Zero. So I don't actually get into any estate planning, and there's only so much I can handle on my end and to scale out my business the way I want to, and also handle the cases that I want to. Estate planning is a whole other animal when it comes to drafting, preparation. Also, there's multiple meetings that you have to get through with clients. So that part of my practice hasn't been implemented right now. If we look maybe 5, 10 years down the road, when I brought another lawyer on full time that could help and manage that stuff, maybe we'll do that. But really, it's the probate side that's probably 80, 90% of what I handle in the law firm. And what's interesting about that, though, is when doing the probate, we see all the problems that come from estate planning, right? So, really, it can make us better estate planners because we see all the messes, right? From trust, no trustees to people that didn't name the distributions correctly or there's ambiguity. So it's fascinating seeing that. But to answer the question, like a lawyer answering it, 0%, Chad.
Okay. So what I hear is you see it as a progression. As your firm matures, you'll bring in more of those areas of practice, right?
Eventually, I could say 5, 10 years from now that I could see that being more.
Okay. And John Fraker, I know that a percentage of your business comes from estate planning. What would you say that percentage is?
Currently, I'd probably put it at 60-40, 60 planning, 40 estate administration, probate, et cetera.
And a lot of the majority of your planning is actually trusts versus just a simple will, correct?
Yeah, it would be malpractice for me to do a will and not a trust for most of my clients.
Yeah. And
Given,
you got to
given
just,
what a train wreck California probate is, yeah.
for context, understand John's in California, but he's also in one of the most high net worth zip codes. So trusts are very common in that area. So everybody is in different markets. Savannah, your firm is relatively new. You're doing incredibly well with it, but what percentage of your business would you say right now comes from planning versus administration?
I would say about 20% would be planning. I also come from a probate litigation background. So I know what to do and what not to do in my estate plans. And where all these litigation cases came from were from errors in the estate plans. So I proceed very cautiously and I really do enjoy planning. But yeah, as I grow, I mean, I would love to take on more estate planning cases. Right now, about 20% of my cases are estate planning.
And so, Al, we know 100% of your business is coming from the probate and the trust administration. I'm curious in the North Florida market, let's ask a little bit of a different question. What percentage of your administration business would be trust versus probate?
Oh, probably not 95% of it's probate. The trust administration rarely comes up. It'll come up on a title issue. Like we're about to do one right now where they have the trust, but the trustee died. There's nobody else named. So underwriting wants now a trustee to be appointed. So it comes up from time to time as an issue, but not as frequently as probate. Probate's 95% at least, maybe more.
And John, what percentage of administration versus planning, and what's the split between probate and trust administration in Northern California?
For dollar amount, probate's always higher, obviously. As far as percentage of my practice on the administrative side, I'd probably say currently probably about 80% trust administration, 20% probate.
And I think a lot of that's largely because you were the planner, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So, and we very rarely probate our own cases because as Al and as Savannah were mentioning, if you do it right, you're not going to wind up in court or rarely, right? So every blue moon, an asset will slip through and you'll need to do your pour over will probate. But I've only done like 2 of those in my career because we make sure it's funded while the client's alive. We take care of that up front. Again, when the median home price, for instance, in where my office is in Saratoga, 3.9 million, people aren't really leaving that to the probate process. Everyone's getting their trust. Everyone's making sure to stay as far away from our court system, our broken court system as humanly possible. So I do probate, but those people mostly are coming to me cold or they're coming to me through a referral from a financial advisor. They're not my own clients. It's very rare that we do that.
And Savannah, what would you say would be the percentage split of your administration versus planning, but also the split between the probate administration versus trust administration?
So I would say about 60% of my cases are probate and trust administration, 20 estate planning, and then the other 20 probably just general civil litigation, real estate litigation, and that kind of cases. And I don't have very many trust administration cases. I have just, I can think of two off the top of my head right now, but mostly just probate administration. South Florida, unfortunately, is notorious for lack of estate planning. So our probate courts are heavily backlogged.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how much wealth is aggregated in South Florida, well, Florida coast in general, and how rare it is to like it's not like the West Coast at all. Next up, we have what percentage of your business comes from probate and or trust litigation each year? Al?
I'd say about 20%. I think the more cases I've been bringing in, the more problems that have hit on some of the files. So I'd say about 20%. That's fair.
Okay. John, what percentage of your business would come from litigation?
Currently, probably less than 5%.
Great. And Savannah?
Probate and trust litigation, maybe 10% out of the 20% that I had in random just litigation cases.
Great. That's encouraging. We want that to be the least part of the business, right?